Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Below Deck Med, Season 5, Episode 14, Whole New Ball Game. Or as I like to call it, not much happens. But I love Aisha. Let's get into it. So it's the very early morning. They're still in Spain and Captain Sandy is hovering because that's her only job this season. And we see Aisha. She's walking down the dock. And I love her. If you didn't watch her season, it was really good. It was last season. She was great. Really, she's probably my standout. She's my favorite one of the crew last season. She's great. Great personality. So much fun. She fell hard for Jack. And it sounds like Jack did some not nice things and got back together with his ex. And it breaks my heart because Aisha's great. But she'll find somebody awesome. I know she will. So she's walking around. She's just a ray of sunshine. She's so happy to be there. We get this interesting graphic. We haven't seen this before from Below Deck, where they show the route. They're leaving from Palma and they're going over to Ibiza. I never say that right, by the way. I'm from Florida. I don't know if it's a southern thing. I have no idea, but I cannot say that right. I call it Ibiza. I thought that's what it was, but everybody here is calling it Ibiza. So bear with me on that. Okay. So, Bugs and Aisha are really getting along well. That's awesome. Aisha finds out that it's Johnny and Michelle Damon. They were on her boat before. They're coming back. She's super excited because she's super excited about everything. Bugs is having a chat with her. It is interesting because Aisha says, you know, she's good friends with Hannah, but she's going to give Bugs the benefit of the doubt. She's going to wait and see how she treats her because so far Bugs has been nothing but nice to Aisha. And I think that's cool. I personally am one of the few that likes Bugs. I see a lot of people don't like Bugs. Good. I think it's good that finally they have a first and second that are getting along so well. So good for them. I hope it lasts. And I also think it's interesting because Aisha says, you know, I really liked Hannah. Nobody's told me what's going on with her. So I feel like that's just some behind the scenes stuff. They probably have to say that to pretend like they haven't been talking about it, but you know they have. Malia seems to only be hovering in the galley because that's where her boyfriend Tom is. Moving on. So they have a stew meeting and Bugsy's addressing the second and third stew. Now Jessica bugged me. She's bugged me the last couple episodes. She's kind of a brat. She thinks she deserves a second stew position. She even admits herself she's not really into the job. She's not very good at it. She can't keep anything organized or clean. So I don't know why she thought she'd be second stew. But anyway, so I'm just glad they have this great second stew in place. We see Malia outside for once, not in the galley. They're getting ready to dock. It's a really tight space. This crazy ass crowd is gathered to watch the docking. Isn't that wild? Talking about intense. So we see this boat and oh my God, this picture gives me so much anxiety. Look how close they are to the other boat. They're just throwing fenders down to try to protect themselves. But I'm thinking, these boats weigh so much. I mean, that can't possibly protect from every scrape and scratch. That's wild. That gives me anxiety looking at that. I think it's so funny to see Captain Sandy hanging out of the window like a drive-through here, trying to back this boat up. Tom is stressing out in the kitchen. Of course, Malia has to come back in because, you know, she's annoying. They gather on the dock. The guests are arriving. It's Johnny Damon. If you didn't see him before, he's very obnoxious. I don't know who's more obnoxious, him or his wife. I'd say probably his wife. So then we meet, I'm not going to say her name correct probably, so I apologize. I believe it's Adina, and I want to be best friends with Adina. Adina is a good time. I'd be shit-faced too if I was traveling with these people. So she is already hammered. Now the interesting thing about Adina is we find out she wasn't on Johnny Damon's charter last time. She was on with the Queen of Versailles. What? How does she know all these people? What a weird coincidence. So again, we see her being a good time on that charter, and she's back, and we'll see more of her in just a minute. So again, it's like all this drama about the docking. They turn right back around. They're headed back out. tight squeeze, tight squeeze. Captain's hanging out the window. It's wild. They're talking about how wasted Adina is, and what do you know? She falls. It sucks. She falls with a glass in her hand. So, of course, Bugsy is right on it and leaning over, picking up her glass and trying to help her out. Adina is bleeding all over the upholstery. And all I kept thinking was, oh my God, how much money is that to get cleaned out? So, anyway, so they're getting ready for, I guess, lunch. Yeah, it looks like lunch. Bugsy's setting the table. She's making it fancy and baseball themed. There's whistles on the table. So Tom is stressing out because they're talking about what a shit experience they had before. And if you don't remember, because I'm trying to refresh my memory. So before, it was Anastasia that was the fill-in cook. And it was Johnny Damon's charter that I believe pushed it over the edge, where they realized, oh yeah, what was she, second stew can't be the chef on a big fancy yacht like this. So I wasn't a big fan of Anastasia, so whatever. So they brought in they brought in Ben to finish off the season, and it was because of Johnny Damon's group complaining about the shit food. So Tom, of course, is freaking out. He's really trying to do a good job. So we see here Aisha is saying, can I have some... I can't even do her accent. That was like British. Hello, Tom. I can't do it. Okay. So Aisha is trying to have some focaccia. She's asking Tom for some. She's just so bubbly and fun. I love her. And Jess, I know she was teasing, but Jess bugged me here because she's making fun of her. She's like, I love focaccia. I love recycling. And yeah, that is how Aisha is, but Jess is kind of bitter. So, I don't know. Like, no wonder she's making fun of her. Now, Karma got her good because she bonked her head on the dryer here, which I found very funny. They made a baseball-themed dessert because, yeah. They're out at sea, and Rob. I swear, Rob and Jess deserve each other because they love the drama. So Rob is being moody, which, how can you tell the difference? Because he never has any personality. He's explained to the camera that his ex-girlfriend has reached out and that she's going through some stuff. So he hasn't revealed that to Jess yet, but oh, it's coming. We see Malia out on the deck, again for a change, not in the galley with Tom. I don't know what to do with that. They are observing that there's jellyfish in the water, but of course the guests want to go swimming, so Alex decides to jump in the water and help keep the jellyfish away and let the guests have a good time, which I thought was really sweet. Johnny Damon is talking about peeing on himself to keep the jellyfish away. I don't think that's how that works. I think that's supposed to treat a jellyfish sting, not keep the jellyfish away. Adina, again, my hero. She's taking a good old juicy nap while everybody's playing on the toys. So the girls, I thought it was going to be like an Alice in Wonderland theme or something based on Bugsy's tutu. Nope, it's a neon party. Okay, so then we have Zombie Rob here just like pouting around and no personality. And he basically tells his boss, well, both of his bosses, Malia and Sandy, of course, sitting together, hanging out in like the crew area. He tells him he's checked out. So Captain Sandy's trying to say, are you sleepy? He's like, no, checked out. What kind of moody middle school girl shit is that? Why would you tell your boss that? Even if you feel that way, why tell them that? Are you crazy? We go back to Johnny Damon. He's a monkey. I don't know. They're doing a nice dinner here. There's that neon shit everywhere. They're bringing up the plates. Of course, Captain Sandy has to hover and say, I want to know from Johnny Damon, how's the food? My God, seriously, you're like an Applebee's manager. What are we doing here? So Johnny complains it's not hot enough. So what does she do? I'm on it. So she runs downstairs, talks about the temperature. They come up with a solution to put this dome over just his plate. Well, The problem is the dome is not made for the plate. So guess what happens? You'll never guess. It goes flying off. Now what's funny here is that Bugsy's saying, Tom's gonna freak, Tom's gonna freak. Because, well, we saw Tom freak out last week because of the potatoes. No, he didn't. We did see that the topper falling off took like some of the meat with it. They had to go back down, make a plate. Luckily, Tom was prepared. He had extra of everything. They made a nice plate. Now, Malia bugged the shit out of me here because look at this face, condescending. It was a mistake. Bugsy didn't drop it on purpose. Malia's making a big deal out of it. It wasn't a big deal. Moving on. So this bitch is getting totally drunk. And we see it. You can imagine where it's going. Of course, Johnny Damon's wife, what's her name, loves to get drunk and fight. We saw it last time. The editor showed us a clip again this episode. So what happens? Orangey here talks about Spanx. Johnny Damon's wife gets very offended. And what do you do when you're offended? Well, you lift your skirt. And that's what she did. So they're talking about the two of them fighting and how they get drunk and they fight. Orangey McGee here goes to her room. Her husband chases after her. We do get to hear them on mic where he's saying, what are you thinking? Don't talk about a woman's Spanx. You're basically calling her fat. So they make up. It's all good. And then we get to see this god-awful scene for no particular reason. It's the next morning, and here's where the weirdness gets kicked off. Rob has no personality. You can't tell if he's awake or asleep because his personality stays the same. Jess hears that he's texting and asks who he's texting. Okay, to that I say, maybe a little aggressive for a guy you met 2 weeks ago. But he's saying, this might sound strange. I can't do accents. His ex reached out and has been communicating with her and asked if she's mad. And what's interesting is before he acted like the ex had like a big issue she was going through. This time it's not really that. It sounds like they just wanted to talk to each other. And I think they're both being weirdos. I think Rob's being shady as shit. And I think Jessica's being like way possessive of a guy she met 2 weeks ago. So she's pouting. He's outside working. It sounds like he's screwing up a lot. Malia talks to them about order of priorities because he's not paying attention to the order of priority of things. So Rob's telling Alex how bad this sucks. And then he does this thing where he's like, I changed my flight from West Palm. Of course, talking about going to Bali with her. I mean, come on. You just did that. You can't use that against her. I don't think that's fair. So she comes out. Rob's not there. So she has a talk with Alex. Of course, they've been friends for a long time. So he's telling her, just chill out about this. It's no big deal. She's like, it is a big deal. So they have a talk. And so it's a whole thing. So again, a different story. Now he's telling her that the other girl did have feelings for him and it was out of his control. And so Jess tells him, you should just block that bitch. And, I don't know. It's hard to say. I do get that. I get that she's upset and he's changing his story. So that would piss me off too. But I mean, you're fighting over Rob. Really? So the guests are headed into town, or to Ibiza here, Ibiza, to this party. So it sounds like a really big deal, lots of fun, lots of drinking, and they're being escorted on the tender. So it's already been discussed that when they go, that the crew gets to have fun and play. So the slide's all set up. Captain Sandy gets on her radio and tells everybody, okay, go have fun. So that looked like a fun afternoon. So then we see Alex finally telling Bugsy that he likes her, that he's so happy with her, and just what a cool girl she is, and how much she makes him happy. And it's so sweet. I love the two of them together. She, unfortunately, is so awkward and scared of getting hurt. She only ever says, like, thank you. What are you supposed to do with that? He can only try so much, I think. But, okay, so we see them all out having fun, and freaking Rob in bed pouting. Who knows? So Jess is on the jet skis and on the slide having fun. And then when she comes up, she starts having heart palpitations. And so she needs to sit down and have some water and get a towel. And we end the episode with Malia calling for Captain Sandy. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think it's all to do with Rob and this whole thing. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of a whimper of an episode. I love Aisha. I like Bugsy. I thought they did great this episode. You know, I love Alex. He's great too. Everybody else kind of sucks. So we'll see. So next time on Below Deck, we see Johnny Damon playing baseball because, sure, he's getting gross and filling up his wife at the table, as you do. Now, what the heck was happening here? I thought this was very strange. I had to rewind it like 4 times. They show this cut of him, like, staring weirdly at the camera. Now, tell me, what is he doing? Is he about to barf over the side? Is he taking a leak over the side? I really thought maybe his wife was there doing something sexual, like, maybe on the side. It's hard to tell. It's just very weird, and I couldn't tell what I was looking at. We see Rob continuing to fuck up at his job, and he's talking again about his relationship at work. I mean, seriously, what job can you do that? We see Aisha taking pictures with Rob, and of course Jess gets jealous over this. Sounds like they're gonna fight. And then we see Bugsy and Alex kissing. It's so cute. He's celebrating that he's out of the friend zone, and I love him. He's so cute. And that's it for the episode. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm covering Real Housewives of New York. I'm covering Beverly Hills and Potomac. Get on Potomac. It's so good. So thanks for everything. Thanks for every single comment. I really appreciate it. You can follow me online at Real Recaps. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.